Happy Wednesday, and thanks for joining us here on 9 News Watch for a look at your headlines. I'm Chris Bianchi. We'll start things out by taking a look at today being the first day of fall. Well, technically it takes place in just a little bit at 1:20 p.m. local time. This afternoon we'll officially have the autumnal equinox, which means that the entire Earth will get the same amount of sun rays, but more significantly means, astronomically speaking, we are officially in autumn. And by the way, to celebrate, we do have a little graphic for you about the top 5 ways to look at a Colorado fall. There you go. Your comments, your feedback, appreciated. I'm at Bianchi Weather on Twitter, also at Chris D. Bianchi on Instagram. I've been getting a lot of those comments about this all day long. It is just for fun here, folks. By the way, I'm a huge Rockies fan myself, so just having a little fun with that one. Now over to the weather, where today, even though those temperatures will be getting on up into the upper, it will officially be fall, those temperatures will be getting on up into the low 80s, so it will not necessarily feel fall-like, although this morning we started off with a low temperature of 42 degrees. Look at that temperature, rocket on up into the low 80s, and this is just the beginning here, folks. It is going to stay warm for your day tomorrow as well, with a similar, maybe a little bit warmer day for your Thursday. Highs low to mid 80s for us, and then by your Thursday, I should say by your Friday, Saturday, and into your Sunday, those temperatures continue to climb. Although Friday we cool on down a little bit, Saturday and Sunday temperatures in the mid 80s, and maybe, just maybe, making an outside run at 90 degrees for your Sunday. So yes, it might officially be autumn, but summer is not going away, at least if you ask the weather gods. Now from there over to the latest TikTok trend, which unfortunately it is a destructive one, and kids across the country are damaging or stealing school property, and it's all just for the likes. 9 News reporter John Glasgow takes a look into how some schools are trying to stop the damage from happening.
TikTok's latest trend has students destroying and stealing school property for likes and follows. The videos posted online with the caption "Devious Lick." The sharing site has since removed them, but vandalism is still happening in Colorado schools.
This just started off as the little stuff. So like they would just take a soap dispenser or like a roll of toilet paper. But then people started taking bigger stuff like a urinal, I think.
Emma Denga is an 8th grade student at Sky Vista Middle School. She says her school is now limiting time students can use the bathroom.
It got so bad that all the bathrooms at my school were locked for a week. So there's only one bathroom that's unlocked for the whole school, and there's a security guard.
Cherry Creek School District says it closed bathrooms at several schools to replace things like soap and toilet paper dispensers. The district tells me at Grandview all bathrooms are open but one, and most at Sky Vista are open. The district says that some schools are temporarily limiting phones and bags in bathrooms, and staff are also monitoring halls and restrooms to prevent more damage from happening.
So now, there's no soap in the bathrooms. Even during a pandemic, you can't wash your hands after going to a bathroom, which is really weird.
For now, Emma's mom, Chantel, who's a nurse, hopes the school will take health into consideration.
I'm not sure what the solution is, but I want them to be able to go to the bathroom. I want them to be able to use the facilities. I really think soap and water is really important.
U.S. President Joe Biden said earlier today that he wants to double the U.S.'s purchase of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine to share with the rest of the world. Now that would boost the U.S. vaccine contribution to the rest of the world up to 1 billion doses. That's also part of Biden also saying that he wants to see 70% of the world's population vaccinated within the next year. Colorado's Attorney General's office is charging 3 caregivers in connection with the death of an 86-year-old woman in Grand Junction. Hazel Place died in June after being left out in the sun for 6 hours in 100-degree temperatures, that according to the Attorney General's office. Family members said that due to Place's dementia diagnosis, she was supposed to be checked up on every hour. Each of the 3 caregivers faces 1 count of criminally negligent homicide and negligent death of an at-risk person. At last count, about a dozen Coloradans are dying each day because of COVID-19. One of those Coloradans was a new mother from Parker who'd recently given birth to twins and had 2 other children at home. She chose not to get the vaccine while she was pregnant. This is her story.
They moved up to Parker to to pursue a better life.
Colorado was a new home for Alicia Santana Rogers and her family. But after passing away from COVID-19, the loved ones she left behind are trying to get back to New Mexico.
She was an incredibly giving person. She had a heart of gold.
Alicia's parents, Teresa and Philip Santana, say her adopted community of Parker has returned that generosity in spades.
The generosity has made me break down several times. Just unbelievable.
A GoFundMe set up by Alicia's sister-in-law has raised $12,000 so far, and her oldest daughter's school has donated money, gift cards, baby formula, diapers, and wipes too.
It's made this unbearable time a little bit easier to deal with.
The GoFundMe is helping the family with final expenses and relocating Alicia's husband and 4 children back to New Mexico, where the rest of their family lives and where they have an emotional and financial support system.
It means so much because, just to have everybody together so we can support each other.
The family is dealing with their loss one day at a time, but staying strong for Alicia's 4 little girls.
It's going to be a long, hard road. It really is.
A long, hard road made a little easier with the help of strangers from Parker.
There's no way that we can ever thank everybody enough for what they've done.
For Next, I'm Brian Mundland.
Denver Police Chief Paul Pazin said on Tuesday that the Denver Police Department's staffing issues are because of money problems relating to the pandemic. More importantly, perhaps, Pazin said that the lack of staffing is not related to public sentiment against police brutality, police accountability, and/or vaccine mandates. Pazin did say all of this at the Denver City Council on Tuesday. That was part of a budget hearing. Colorado Parks and Wildlife euthanized a 3rd black bear this month. This was in Steamboat Springs after CPW said that the bear began entering homes and lost its fear for humans. CPW said that the bear was dangerous after it entered homes last week and even, get this, ate food from a fridge in one East Steamboat Springs home. Bears are currently in the process of fattening themselves up for their winter hibernation, so CPW warning people to be extra vigilant about safely securing food. Lift tickets and season passes are on sale as Colorado prepares for yet another ski season during a pandemic. Now, as winter approaches, some ski areas have already announced their latest COVID-19 policies, including vaccine requirements. 9 News reporter Jenny Meckles takes a look.
A light dusting of snow in the high country this week. Some photos from Loveland Ski Area have us dreaming about fresh powder and wondering how the pandemic will, for a 3rd season now, affect those powder plans. Vail Resort says this year they won't have a reservation system for visitors and no capacity limits on the mountain. Also, no vaccine required just to ski. This covers resorts like Vail, Breckenridge, Beaver Creek, Keystone, and Crested Butte. Masks are required indoors, so bathrooms, lodging, restaurants. And if you're eating on site at one of those cafeterias, that's where a reservation is required. And to eat there, anyone 12 and up has to show proof of your vaccine. And what about the people who work at these resorts? Vail Resort says its employees have to be vaccinated by November 15th. Arapahoe Basin said they too will require employees to get the shot and said about 90% already have. The rest got to get caught up by November 2nd. Monarch is also requiring employees who work indoors to get the shot and said 100% of administration and ski patrol already got it. Employees who do not show proof of vaccine will have to be tested weekly. There are no capacity limits on the mountain at Monarch, but seating indoors will be reduced. And no vaccine mandate for visitors there, but masks highly recommended indoors.
Well, as we mentioned at the start of the program here, today is the first day of fall. Well, it's going to be 80 degrees, so talk about a perfect day if you want to bike to work. And speaking of which, is the 31st annual Denver Regional Government's Bike to Work Day. Over 4,100 riders committed to biking to work today, and there are over 100 different stations set on up across the metro area offering food, water, and this is, by the way, all volunteer driven, and you can even get a couple of prizes if you register for the event. Now, this date normally falls in June, the Bike to Work date, that is, but because of the pandemic, it was pushed back to now. So, happy first day of fall, and thanks for joining us for a look at your 9 News headlines on this Wednesday. I'm Chris Bianchi, and have a great rest of your Wednesday.